Hey, so remember everyone, please comment, like, subscribe, click the notification bell. I know we've been talking about a lot of stuff. There's lots more content where this is going to come out of, um, both in the future and with other clips from this interview. So if you like it, comment, like, subscribe, click the notification, and share with everybody. The idea here is that this is a library for anyone to come into to find something relevant. So I humbly ask that spread the word. The library is always open. It'll always be on YouTube, and hopefully soon it will be on other platforms as well. So, Sean, let's talk veteran transition for a minute, right? Because
Okay.
we're both vets. It's a cause that's near and dear to your heart. It's a cause near and dear to mine because veteran transition is a culture shock in a lot of ways.
Mhm. Yes, it is. Very much so.
Um, I guess what are some of the things that you would advise vets to assist with their transition?
Have faith. Have faith in
Oh,
yourself, and not about Christianity or anything like
no,
that.
I got you. I got
Have
you.
faith in yourself and the fact that something's going to come about. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the skills that you develop, whether you spent 4 years or 40 years in the military, it doesn't matter. And you've built skills uh, to make you resilient, to make you successful in the civilian world. It's not going to be easy. Just like anything else, life, it's not going to be easy. But, um, well, I shouldn't say it won't be easy. Likelihood it's going to be a little difficult at times, but it's not impossible at all. So don't lose faith. Veteran unemployment was high. I think it's come down significantly over the last couple of years. And uh, don't be so cocky to think that, hey, I served in the military and I was at this rank and I deserve to be right here and be deaf and blind to everything else that has come, opportunities that are coming to you
Yeah.
because those aren't worthy enough. Okay. Some maybe not be. Yeah. There's definitely some out there, opportunities that are going to come in front of you that aren't right. But maybe there are some. Maybe don't just completely what do you call it? Pushing it aside.
Mm-hmm.
Be receptive. Be receptive to different opportunities, and don't be afraid to challenge yourself. The One of the things that I know I learned through my own transition was that it's very difficult to translate what you've done, what you've learned, your knowledge, skills, and abilities from the military into the civilian world, because they're very really when you put them side by side, um, there are differences, but there are a lot of more similarities probably than you realize, from the civilian from your military training and experience in day-to-day operations to the civilian side. Because when it comes down to it, a lot of times uh, the employers are looking for that attitude, that winning attitude, that dependability, the intangible things that you bring to the table, because they can train you on doing a lot of different things, but they can't necessarily train you on your attitude, your positive attitude, your can-do attitude, your willingness uh, to shoulder the responsibility to get the ball across the line, to accomplish that mission. So, because we all know that mission accomplishment is number one, and taking that mentality into the civilian world is priceless. In knowing that, hey, look, yeah, okay, yeah, I got to work a little bit longer. Got it. Okay, you need me to do that? Sure. Okay, no problem. Because you know what? I'm not sleeping outside in the woods right now. I'm not getting shot at. I'm not getting blown up. All you need me to do is do this. Not a problem, man. Got it. And some things aren't going to be so much fun and what have you. I got it. Um, but when you take a step back and look at it, there are a lot of opportunities out there. Don't just uh, push them to the side. Really take an objective look at it and say, yeah, you know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what will happen?
You know, from my end, what I would always say is know your why, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
like you like having purpose and meaning is going to change drastically now,
Mm-hmm.
because what you thought you had purpose and meaning with service is no longer there, and so now you have to reassign it, or you have to find something that's higher value,
Mm-hmm.
um, of some kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that is know your budget. Know that cutoff point where like, hey, like if I take like this is where my budget is, and that's also kind of a gauge for what your threshold for rejection is too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get rejected, even though all these opportunities are out there. You're going to get rejected because any number of reasons why. And most of the time, they're just benign reasons. Um, and you have to know that cutoff point, so that way you when you get that, like maybe it's a job that doesn't exactly pay the bills, like you bleed a little bit. Well,
Mm-hmm.
tighten your belt, right? Work hard, and don't stop networking, and don't stop doing interviews or something like that just because you found a job. It may not be right for you, but like look for the opportunities, pay the bills that you need to pay, know that threshold, and understand that when you transition, you if you want 100K value, you got to provide 100K value,
Mm-hmm.
and if that's the case too, you better be ready for a lot of rejection,
Mm-hmm.
because that is something that you're going to have to be able to clearly communicate to people.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
So,
And, so you come from a perspective that I did not, which
mhm.
I had the luxury, and I truly believe it, and I know that it was a luxury, that I had my retirement.
Oh
I had
yeah.
my retirement, and my wife and I set us up pretty well over the last couple of years to know that all the bills that we accumulated um, is going to be covered by that retirement. So anything on top of that is going to be, great. Um, Even with my daughters, my two youngest got my GI Bill. So we took care of that. So I was fortunate to not have that extra stress. Now I should say I did put that extra stress on me a little bit, saying, oh, I need a job. I need to be able to get this amount of money. But in reality, I didn't. So I was fortunate in that area. There's
Well,
a
I mean,
majority though,
I'm sorry.
majority of people, service members don't have that.
Well, I mean,
Um,
regardless though, like if you have a retirement, that's
mhm,
that's perfectly fine.
mhm,
And I would say even then, don't like you still know where your value is, right? I mean, I think we can reasonably conclude that.
mhm,
Now, granted, it may not be like, oh, I'm looking for no, don't get crazy, right?
mhm,
Don't be that guy, but just try and be reasonable with it and objective as you can.
mhm,
Understand you got to pay your bills. Understand your budget. Understand what you're worth, and also understand that you take a position, and that position may not be um it for now, but it has great promotion potential.
mhm.
You promote within 18 months, or
And
whatever the case may be. So like there's something like from a time perspective, definitely, but from
mhm,
like a other perspective, as long as you know your budget,
mhm,
I think you're good. And just a quick note, I know we're talking about veteran transition, but this can be anyone who's going through a transition in their life, because you got to keep in mind, like the key element here is your value, and your why, and a few other things, right? So like
mhm.
if you can understand those things and translate them directly to whatever it is you're transitioning to, it will help you regardless.
You're right, and you know, uh, you're absolutely right. I think one point you made of knowing the value and understand that maybe you're taking a position in a company that is slightly lower than you believe you should have,
Mhm.
but knowing that the upward mobility within that organization is significantly more than this other company that you're going to start off maybe where you think you should be, but you're not going to move up afterwards. Having that long term perspective instead of that short term perspective, and
Absolutely.
being able to tighten up your belt a little bit, maybe cut back a little bit here and there in the short term in order to have that long-term gain is crucial, is another thing. And one other part you brought up, another great point you brought up was knowing that the sense of purpose. You're not going to necessarily have that all the time. And I had a few years ago, I heard a master sergeant during his retirement ceremony say that, I spent X amount of years, I think it was 25 or 26 years at that time for him, getting up every day, having a purpose, coming in, putting the uniform on and having a purpose every day. Now I'm not going to have that. I've got to find another way to find that purpose now. And that's one area that veterans need to have, going back to that resiliency piece of knowing that there's purpose out there, whether you volunteer, go, I don't know, help out your kids at school, whatever it is, find purpose and don't let, my wife says it all the time. You don't live to work, you work to live. So having that work-life balance, finding purpose, whether it be in your job or probably better is outside your job. So having that sense of purpose out there to make you feel having that inner satisfaction that you probably have in the military. Yep. You may not realize it, but you do have some inner satisfaction with that, and having to be able to bring that into your civilian life too, or just transition. If you're a civilian, transition to a different occupation.
Yeah, I agree with you, Hunter. Again, like spot on, and